All right, so I'm talking about Montana. I'm talking about Wyoming. So Wyoming is one of my favorite states. I don't know why. I guess a big part of it is because of the name. I like the name, and also because it's a cool state. I just think it's like the coolest state. I like, I like the name, and I like how it looks. It's like very frontier-like. It might be the least populated state. I'm not sure. Or like the least dense state, if not the least populated. Like they have three electoral votes. Um, yeah, I think it is the least populated state. I think they use it as the example where it's like a Wyoming resident's vote is worth like 10 times as much as a Californian's vote. But of course, a Republican that lives in California, as far as the Electoral College goes, essentially doesn't have a vote. And a Democrat living in Wyoming essentially doesn't have a vote. But, Wyoming, well, that's cool. Wyoming has a lot of natural beauty going on. I think it has a national park. I think it's where the Devil's Tower is or whatever, where it's that really interesting and cool rock formation. I've been there. I believe, I believe Kanye West has a ranch in Wyoming, which is cool. Having money to buy cool things like ranches and like cool vehicles to ride around in those ranches, that's a fun thing. And that's the thing that Kanye did. Is he bought that ranch and then he bought that cool vehicles. He shot a music video there for the song what is it, Free on Sunday or whatever. You know that song that's like Free on Sunday or close. It's closed on Sunday, and it's about Chick-fil-A. Um, and this is a crude. Okay, this is a crude comment, but closed on Sunday, which is a very much a Wyoming song, because it's filmed. The music video is filmed in Wyoming, so everyone in Wyoming has a special pride of the song. Um, so that song, Closed on Sunday, I'm just now thinking it's probably in reference, because Kanye West in that song, he says, Closed on Sunday, you my Chick-fil-A. So what is he talking about? Who's this you that he's talking to? And I think he's talking about, like, sex or sex with women. And he's saying closed on Sunday as in he's not going to do that on Sunday because Sunday is the Lord's day. So it's a very honorable thing. You know, it's a religious thing that a lot of people from Wyoming would appreciate because Wyoming residents tend to be conservative and religious. So everyone in Wyoming loves Kanye West. I've lived in Wyoming for 32 years at this point, and the only thing that, if I know anything about Wyoming citizens, that being citizens of Wyoming, people when you go, what's the nature of your citizenship? And they go, oh, United States of America and Wyoming. Or sometimes they would say Wyoming resident first, American citizen second. But that would be more of a Texas thing to do that. Um, but Wyoming is a state that, because it has so few people, every person from Wyoming is really a state representative. Or it's like in a state like California, where you've got like 50 million people, one person is a very small share of the total representation. But one person from Wyoming is like they would there's not too many zeros. Like there's 0.0000001% of the population, one person. Like 1 in 200,000 versus 1 in 50 million. It's a huge difference. So there's something special about being from Wyoming. I don't know if I've ever, before I moved to Wyoming and now being 40 and having lived here, I've obviously met a lot of Wyoming citizens. But before I lived here, I don't think I ever met somebody from Wyoming, just because it's so rare. And I don't think many people move away from Wyoming. It's got its own culture and stuff that people are very proud of. I don't think they are under the impression that there are better places to be. That's what gets people to move a good amount of the time, is if you think there's a better place to be. This is simply not the case in Wyoming. Um, Wyoming's got a university with a football team. That's good. I was talking about Montana in the last state video I made, and Montana doesn't have a major football program or anything like that. Wyoming's not University of Wyoming football isn't really a major, but like at least I like know what their logo is and know that they exist. I can't say the same about Montana's program. I wonder if Wyoming University of Wyoming is a good place. I don't know. I've never been to the university myself. But the culture, if so, the gun culture in Wyoming, everyone has a gun in Wyoming. If you don't have a gun, then you're not cool, you're not hip with the culture. So you really need a gun. But then the crime rate is pretty low. So what you get in these rural areas is you actually get a low crime rate. Whereas in the wild west, back in the day, you would almost expect a higher crime rate. In rural, like, gold mining towns. But back in the wild west, I guess everywhere was pretty much rural. And then you had towns with some bars and stuff. Interesting thing about westerns and stuff like that, there's usually a lack of kids in those movies or families. At least that's how it feels. Which is interesting. Wyoming is, it's the best state in the United States. That's for damn sure. I wouldn't trade it for anything. Wow, I got sixth. Wow, that's awful. Well, Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, share, Thanks.